Hello again, everyone, and good Tuesday evening. Welcome into the latest edition of Sports Blitz Live. I am Andy Graham alongside Luke Robinson. We'll be with you for the next couple of hours, taking your phone calls, taking your comments, talking about everything going on in the world of sports, the wide world of sports. We got a lot going on now. The World Series is about to begin. We got NBA basketball beginning tonight. We got the NFL in about creeping up on midseason. We got college football just past the midseason. Got high school football about to get into the playoffs. My goodness, there is a lot going on. We'll try to squeeze in as much as we can. Love to hear from you. 256-234-6221 is our number here. You can dial us up on the Sports Blitz Facebook page or our YouTube page and check us out there and comment away. We are brought to you each and every Tuesday evening by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Wonderful place to have lunch or dinner right here in downtown Alexander City. Great food, great people, great service there at JR's Sports Bar and Grill. All right, Luke, I caught a little bit of Locked on Bama today, which doesn't happen often. But
when we lose, you're going to tune in.
No, it popped up on my YouTube feed for whatever reason. And but I did. You do a good job with Jimmy Stein, your partner. And I've noticed it's beginning. It is. I don't know if it is game, but I think you've added some viewers over the last few weeks.
Let me tell you something. This is the truth. I hadn't been on the show in a couple of weeks, but so after the Vanderbilt game, I went on a bit of a rant about Kalen DeBoer's shirt.
Yeah, and that went
pretty viral. I mean,
yeah.
On the Locked On TikTok, it's got 860,000 views. The next closest has about 900. Not 1,000, 900.
Right.
So, yeah, it went kind of viral. Look, I stand by it. I don't care if it's an ugly shirt. I didn't have as much of a problem. I didn't really have too bad a problem necessarily with the shirt. I just thought it was an ugly shirt and don't wear it. And when you lose to Vanderbilt, it looks even uglier. And as a friend of mine's wife said, it looked like he got fatter as the game went on with that shirt. Like that shirt got tighter and tighter on him.
Yeah.
But, yeah, look, nobody is – I don't know where you're going with this, I'm guessing, but nobody's necessarily turning on Kalen DeBoer or any of that. But I think that some people are like, okay.
It seemed like people were turning on Jalen Milroe.
I think people are turning on Jalen Milroe a little bit. Now, let me say this about that. I feel like this is a good place to start. I have been Jalen Milroe's biggest supporter. I'm on the Milroe train. I like him a lot. I've met him, talked with him for 10, 15 minutes, just me and him. And thought he was think he is a great ambassador for Alabama. That said, you cannot at all deny that the body language he shows when Alabama's not doing well on the sidelines is something to consider. It is concerning to me. Now, there are people who say, well, you're no body language expert. This is how kids react.
Shows what they know.
That's kind of what I say. I've seen enough good leaders in my time, right? For instance, Aaron Rodgers right now. Aaron Rodgers, one of the most talented quarterbacks to ever play in the NFL. When you see him on the sidelines right now, what is he doing? They caught him picking his nose pretty good the other day. It's like, but how many clips of Peyton Manning or Tom Brady energizing their team or going or even confronting their offensive linemen from time to time because they're like, hey, I call the plays, you do this. But it shows the passion. It shows they care. So when you see somebody sitting on the bench and there's one shot of Milroe with his head in his hand and he's just sort of on the bench, it's concerning. It's concerning to me. There's no other way to put it. And it's frustrating as a fan because, here Alabama fans are as passionate as any fan base out there. And they want to know that the players want to win as badly as they do. And, you've got this new NIL age where everybody's promoting Lank and selling their various goods. And Jalen Milroe's got a great deal with Roback and all these other things. And hey, more power to him. I'm not mad he's making money at all. But I don't want to do it to the detriment of the team. And some other things that were very concerning from that game we can get into, but Ryan Williams, 18 targets. I love Ryan Williams as I tweeted this. I love Ryan Williams like a rich grandson because he's too young to be my son. And if I had a rich grandson, I'd love him even more. But targeting him 18 times when you have other dudes available. And then I brought that question up on the podcast, and somebody, because I said, I don't even remember the last time anybody was targeted 18 times for an Alabama team. And I'm talking about Devontae Smith, Amari Cooper. Even Amari Cooper in 2014, we went for 201, 10 catches, and 3 tutties against Florida and looked unstoppable. He was targeted 13 times. He caught it 10 times and had 201 yards and 3 touchdowns against a pretty salty defense.
I think the last time I remember any receiver doing that was like Josh Reed against Alabama.
Yeah, now he ended up.
He caught like 20 passes.
I think he had 19 catches, if I remember right. Yeah. But somebody brought it to my attention. They said, hey, John Mechie was targeted 22 times against Auburn in 2021. I said, fair enough. I said, but the issue there was Jamison Williams, his number 1 receiver, was thrown out of the game for targeting. And also, that game went into 4 OTs. I know 2 of those overtimes were just the 2-point conversion deal, but that counted for one of Mechie's catches. And Alabama had to go 90-something yards at the end of the game. And, Mechie either had 1 or 2 catches on that particular drive. So it was almost a necessity to do that. This particular team, Jeremy Bernard's pretty strong. Kendrick Law's not bad. I mean, Alabama's got other receivers. And I love Ryan Williams. I think he's fabulous. I think he's freshman of the year across the board. But I targeted him 18 times. And if you're going to target him, at least put it in his area code. That's the other problem. So
75 yards rushing.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a problem. And it's a problem. Some of that is scheme. Some of that is game plan. It's a problem right now. And the defense actually played admirably. They played okay. They didn't play like 2011 Bama, but they played okay. Very frustrating game to watch because Alabama had tons of opportunities and just didn't capitalize. And, they throw 2 fade patterns in the 2 jump balls essentially for Ryan Williams. 1 is a touchdown. 1 was so poorly thrown anybody could have picked it off. They ran the same play to Kendrick Law, sort of a trick play twice. And my thought on that is, you don't run a flea flicker in the same game twice. You might fake a flea flicker one time and run a flea flicker.
If you run it twice, can it be a trick play?
Exactly. It's sort of in your playbook. And then of course Keon Sabb is hurt. He has a broken foot. He'll be out for a little while. That's going to be painful. But as I said on Saturday Sports Countdown, Alabama's certainly not out of the playoff race. They're not out of the race because of their record. They may be out of the race because of the way they play. I don't think they're going to win out or anything. But if they do win out, that will include a win over LSU, who will be pretty good, and Alabama will 100% go to the playoffs. I just don't know that they'll win out anymore.
Yeah, they don't look like a playoff team.
Agreed. But now I'm going to say this about that. You got 12 playoff teams. In my eyes, about 5 or 6 will be playoff caliber teams. You'll just have 12 in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's interesting. The playoff now looks so much different than the vision of it when you start playing out the scenarios and you think, wow, okay, could this actually – I have no idea. It's going to look a lot different than I thought it was going to look, certainly at the beginning of the year. But who knows? I mean, things can change a lot between now and then. So you don't know where these teams are going to be. But like you said, unless Alabama wins out, they're out.
100%. And
obvious.
Well, again, that they might have a percentage chance of some description. I would not count on it. But again, it's it's tough sledding right now. And here's the thing, now that more of these games are intriguing and dramatic, another thing that has come to light is how bad these officials are. I know a lot of people have hated on officials for a while. I've always tried to stymie that talk because, say, look, it's a hard job. Nobody really wants it. You get killed no matter. And if you do your great job, nobody tells you how great you did, whatever. I thought the officials in both games, which were crazy high in terms of viewership, Bama, Tennessee, and Georgia, Texas. The Georgia, Texas thing is so bad. And the SEC's explanation for it is so, I mean, it's just.
You talking about the reversal or
the reversal of a call.
The pass interference?
Yeah. And there's some.
Now, was it the right call?
Okay. Yes.
I agree.
Ultimately,
I agree.
They get the right call.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can also get back to Robinson Iron where I work if I go that way. And eventually I'll work my way around to it. Doesn't mean it's the right way. And here's the other problem with that. We have all dealt with bad calls in our lives. We all understand. We all know sometimes they don't call a hold, they should call a hold. Sometimes they don't call a pass interference, they should. Sometimes they do and they shouldn't. We all get that. But to set the precedent that once the fans lose their mind and throw a bunch of bottles on the field, yeah, we'll think about it. Oh no, now we're scared. That to me.
Well, I mean, it's not unprecedented for a call to be made and then the referees gather, talk about a situation, and then maybe wave off a flag. That has happened.
That is not unprecedented.
That is not unprecedented.
It is unprecedented.
No, wait. Now, okay, I understand. I understand everything that leads up to that, and I understand your point. I'm just playing devil's advocate. But what if I said, I mean, the look of it, of course, you said that they're scared that they reversed the call because maybe they thought they were, they're going to riot or something. But what if if they were go ahead and if it just happened to be flukish that they had that extra time to talk, and that's, they were talking anyway, it just gave them a little bit of extra time to come back. And
nope.
No.
I mean, again, I think sometimes you just got to live with a bad call. I hate it.
It was a good call.
The original call was awful.
Yes.
Okay, the original call was awful. We all agree with that. And if they had gotten together in that moment, they had already kind of walked it off.
They got it right and didn't even need replay.
No. The replay was used in the sense that I bet you there's no doubt in my mind
there's no
they
question
looked up on the screen.
I'm sure.
There's no doubt in my mind, which is also BS. Complete BS. And I remember this pretty well. I think it was Alabama LSU maybe in 2000 where Alabama, now this is a bad Alabama team, but they recovered a muffed punt. And it was either not recovered by Bama or barely or not touched by LSU, but they had called it was. And the officials, you can see them looking at the scoreboard and they replay it and they're like, okay, no, it's LSU ball. And my thought, you can't use that. Now, if we can use that, let's use it all the time.
Yeah.
Don't use it now. Don't do it now after the bottles have been thrown. That's my problem. If you're going to just acquiesce to threats, then by God, I tell you, if I had known that, I'd have gone to Knoxville and thrown bottles myself.
I know. We don't know exactly. I mean, it's easy to say those kind of things, but you don't know exactly what was. I mean, there could have been one official that was sitting there, and when they got in that group, he said, "Look, that was not pass interference. I will be the one if you want to put my name out at the end of the game to say this guy said no. He overruled everybody. He said let's get the call right, and they waved it off." I mean, I think that's it. May be slight. It may be.
No, you're part of the problem. You are part of the problem. Here's why. Because you're one of those.
The benefit of the doubt.
I know, but it's wrong. You're one of those. Well, as long as they get the call right. No. And see, that's again. This is why we don't even need replay. Just get rid of replay because they don't get it right on that a lot of times.
I know, but the effort to try to get it right is a noble one.
But okay, then tell me this: why was that play any more important than a play in the second quarter where there should have been a hold called? Why is that play any more? We don't know.
Because nobody came in and said that was not a hold.
No, because nobody. Well,
nobody's ever done that.
What I'm saying is, and I'm not speaking of a particular play.
I know.
But I'm saying, what if there should have been a hold call and there wasn't, and it led to a first down? Who knows how the momentum switches? Who knows all this? And so my point is, we can either all deal with bad calls occasionally, okay? Or we can say, let's get everything right, which will take forever. This meeting in the middle of here's what we think's important, but we're not sure, and if you throw bottles, it is important. That's what bothers me.
Yeah, the bottle throwing, I don't know how to. I mean, that was just that was a bad look for Texas, but it turns out to make them look like it was actually very strategically well done. So that part I agree 100%. That I don't even know how you get around that. It was. I've never seen it done that way, and you won't ever see it done that way again.
No, I disagree. I disagree 100%.
Oh no.
You'll see that done again.
No.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Not like in that
Why?
same situation.
But why? But you know what I mean, Texas, I think, gets fined $100,000 or whatever. They poop that much money on a daily basis. And they also said, we're going to use all this technology and find out who threw what, and you're banned for events through the school year. Well, if we have all that technology, why don't we use it to make some of these deadgum terrible calls?
Yeah, it would make sense.
Quit worrying about who's throwing a bottle. Again, we overcomplicate this stuff to the point of it makes me nauseous. I mean, Texas was rewarded for acting a fool. I understand. Look, if a cop comes up to you, if you're driving a gray Chrysler LeBaron, I don't know why I'm picking gray Chrysler LeBaron, and somebody else is driving a slightly more gray
Was it
Chrysler
John
LeBaron.
Boyd's?
Hang on, I know. And they're going 85, you're going 70. The cop pulls up behind you thinking you're him. And he goes, sir, I'm going to have to give you a ticket. And you go, wait a minute, that wasn't me. It was, I know you're talking about, he's up there. And you go, sir, it's you, I'm going to give you a ticket. And you throw a bottle at him, you're still getting in trouble, even if later it is determined, okay, I missed the car, but you don't get to throw bottles.
Well, hopefully his partner in the car would say, no, that's not the car.
Most
It's
of them
the
don't
one
have
up the way.
partners in the car.
So let's get it
What
right.
is this, Starsky and Hutch? Most of them, have you ever passed a cop with a partner in the car anymore?
I have, actually.
Jesus.
Let's get the call right, man.
No, it takes too long. I would rather say It made Texas look bad. It also made
look,
Georgia look. It made if I was Kirby Smart, you know what I would have said?
What's that?
I would have said, "Hey, everybody that's here for Georgia, if y'all would start throwing everything you got, please, just throw it
It had
everywhere."
no impact on the game, ultimately.
We don't know.
It benefited Texas.
But I'm saying we don't know what would have happened. And even if it doesn't have an impact of the game, you don't know that in the moment. In the moment, we had no idea.
But we're looking back now. That's the whole point.
Okay,
Look, we're going to take a break. Luke's going to take his blood pressure medicine.
I'm not.
And we'll be back with more right after these important messages.
Sportz Auto Sales, Highway 280 in Kellyton, Alabama is home-owned and home-operated. If you're looking for tires, they have it. If you're looking for a vehicle, they have them. Great selection. Always out looking for more just for you, the customer. And if you're looking for service, whether you buy the vehicle from them or whether you buy the vehicle somewhere else, they do service work and got a great crew there. Keep us in mind. Why don't you go by Sportz Auto Sales on Highway 280 in Kellyton today.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We are your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout Central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
Red Flag Pest Control is Central Alabama's best in pest control with hometown service in Lake Martin and now the greater Montgomery area. When you see pests, throw down the red flag. Termites, bed bugs, carpenter bees, mosquitoes, or general pests. Red Flag gets the job done at the right price for your home or business. At Lake Martin, call 888-943-0353 or in Montgomery, 334-265-1831. Red Flag, the best in pest control in Central Alabama.
Hello, I'm Karen Karen Chanel, your State Farm agent in Alexander City, Alabama, and the greater Lake Martin area. I want to talk to you a little bit today about your discounts. How many of you are entitled to discounts that you may or may not be receiving? One of the easiest discounts on your homeowner's insurance is that of having a fire extinguisher. Coupled with a deadbolt lock and a smoke alarm, that gives you an automatic discount on your homeowner's policy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us tonight. We are on there every Tuesday night from 7 to 9. Join us if you want some fantastic banter and some good infotainment.
I'm Luke Robinson. This is my co-host, the referee Butt Kisser 3000.
Yeah, look, I get the call right. That's the bottom line.
If that's the case,
the bottom
then why
line.
don't, again, I'm going to say
Always.
again, why don't we do this for every play all the time?
We do.
we
Every
don't.
play is reviewed in college football.
I know, but I'm saying there are times when you see a clear hold, but they can't review holding. They can't review pass
Holding
interference.
is such a judgment.
They can't review.
that
The NFL tried to review pass interference. It was an abject failure.
They did, and that's why you don't review.
But then- so-
you cannot review.
But then you
judgment
can't
calls.
say get the call right, because there are times when pass interference is clear as day.
If it is within your power, if it is within your scope of influence to get the call right, then do it. If you have that opportunity.
I'm just looking to see if I got any Jack Daniels in here.
Why do you? I mean, I get it. Like, you want to go back to it? That's fine.
I want to
with
go
me.
back to no
That's
replay.
fine. Let's do it. You know what's going? If we wish real hard, maybe it'll happen. No, it's not going to happen. It's
know
never
that.
going to happen. We're
Agreed.
2 steps forward. We're never going back.
No.
So let's make the best of it.
But the best of it is not, hey, if you act a fool and throw a bunch of bottles out there, we'll congregate after we've already stepped it off, after we've already done everything, and then set everything. It's bananas, man.
Now, the only way that would have worked out better if it was Georgia that threw the bottles, and it worked against them. That would
have
be better.
That would have been. Look,
But
I would have
this way-
enjoyed that more. It doesn't
Yeah.
make it better. I would have. I mean, it's sort of like.
Well, that would teach
it's like
people
the
don't
expanded
screw
playoffs.
with us.
The expanded playoffs aren't better to determine a champion. We all enjoy the drama of it all. The drama is no doubt, but it's not a better way to crown a champion. That was my whole argument.
I don't know if I would probably disagree with that.
Okay. I mean, you can be wrong there too.
How is a playoff not better? Every other sport in football uses a playoff, and you love it.
I'm going to say it for the for the 1,000th time. When an 8-8 team or a 7-9 team is in the playoffs for the NFL, no, that's not better to me.
Yeah,
especially when it's over a team that was better but is left out because that 7-9
Has
team
a
won the division.
7-9 team ever won the Super Bowl?
I don't care. It doesn't matter. That's irrelevant.
How is that irrelevant?
Because it's just like you say, get the call right. I want to get if we're going to do 12 teams, let's get the best 12. Don't give me Boise State because we have to.
Give me the 12 that earn it. This crap about
you don't earn it playing a bunch of Mountain West teams.
Nobody said you do, but you
they
can balance it out a little bit.
You can balance it out if you get the 12 best in there. I'd be fine.
Well, I mean,
and that's
you
what we're
just
going
look,
to.
all
By
right,
the way,
fine
I'm going to
then.
win that argument.
Fine then. Just take the SEC,
And the Big Ten.
separate them. No. Just take the SEC, separate them, let them have their own little playoff, and everybody else have college football.
I can guarantee you this. The SEC's playoff will get higher ratings.
It probably would. I have no doubt. But That, again, is never going to happen.
No, it's not. But what is going to happen?
And I don't want it to happen.
But here's what's going to happen. Eventually, it is going to be the Big Ten and the SEC and some scraggler, some other from a Notre Dame, a Clemson, a Florida State.
We'll be dead by then.
Look, I may not make it till Saturday at this rate. Talking to you, you're out of bounds. That wasn't why I quit the show.
Look, man. You and I both are not that far apart. We grew up, and I can't believe that you would actually. I mean, how do you defend the old bowl system with writers declaring a national champion?
I'm not defending that. I'm
a playoff is what I've been dreaming about.
Okay,
I
sure.
want it forever,
and I understand that, and I'm not denying the drama of it.
Forget that. I'm talking about this is the way to do it.
I'm fine with doing it.
Earn it on the field.
Okay, Andy, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. But what I'm not fine with is when we say, "Oh, we've got to give Boise State a shot at it because they play a bunch of also-rans." I don't agree with that in the least.
Okay.
I don't agree with the top 4 seeds get a bye automatically, the champions of the 4 conferences. Because if a ACC team wins their conference with 3 losses, but there are several other one-loss SEC squads that had to go through essentially the NFC East, I don't think it's fair the ACC team gets a bye. I just don't. I think that's clear as day. But we're trying to appease some of these other people till eventually what we're going to get to is what I'm talking about. The best system where you're going to say, I think the best system is a combination of, hey, let's get the 12 teams. Okay, 12 teams, you've sold me. Now let's try and get the best. And we're going to have to, discern the best because not everybody plays everybody in the SEC.
And so we have a committee that does that.
And we will. But eventually we're going to get rid of the group of 5. I'm for that. I'm for saying, okay, just because you win your conference doesn't mean you're one of the 4 best and you get a bye. I don't think that's right at all.
I think, look, you can't just have, like, as far as the NFL is concerned, you can't just have everybody play everybody and it's just kind of chaos and everybody has kind of a record. So you separate them into divisions.
But the NFL already has 32 teams, number 1.
That's true. But they separate them into divisions for a reason. And you are rewarded for winning your division.
Even if your division stinks.
I know that, but that's just the way of the world.
But I'm saying get the call right. You can fix the NFL situation too by saying, okay, wait a minute, your division is terrible. So we're not going to necessarily give you the bye. We're not going to give you the home field.
It's cyclical in that, through the draft, which is
why is it? When's the last time the Cowboys peed a drop?
Well,
when's the last? How many Super Bowls do the Browns have?
Whose fault is that?
How many do the Jacksonville Jaguars have? Okay, well, you're just saying it's so cyclical. I'm saying, seems to me like Kansas City's won 2 in a row and they're the favorite to win the 3rd.
Jacksonville went to the Super Bowl.
When did Jacksonville go to the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
They hadn't been to the Super Bowl.
They went to the NFC.
Carolina has.
They went to the AFC Championship game. Excuse me.
In the 90s?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Congrats. So
I'm
cyclical.
Just saying, it's possible.
It's all possible. Anything's possible.
Anything is possible.
But again, your whole point was let's get the call right. So let's also get the teams right.
We're back to that.
Let's get the teams right.
Well, in your opinion, it's arbitrary for you to say this team is better than that.
Let me ask you this, Andy. Just give me an honest answer. If Boise State, even with Ashton,
all I do is give honest answers.
If Ashton Jeanty, even with Ashton Jeanty, the running back who may win the Heisman,
is who?
Ashton Jeanty, the leading rusher on the country.
Boise.
Yeah. If Boise State played Alabama or LSU or Texas's schedule, how do you think they'd fare, Andy?
If they played our schedule, an SEC
or Auburn schedule, yeah. I'm just asking how you think they'd fare.
I really don't know. I doubt they would have
give me a
great
don't
record.
pussyfoot around it. Give me an answer.
I haven't watched them play. I would say that they would more than likely, be 8-4 or 7-5.
Okay.
But I wouldn't have expected Vandy to be 5-1 right now or 5-2.
Again, I get that, right?
I would not have expected Indiana to be 7-0 against a Big Ten schedule.
But Indiana is playing a Big Ten schedule. That's the thing.
But
theirs is more impressive.
Who's to say Boise wouldn't if they were there?
I say.
Are you going to really compare those rosters and say they're a whole lot different?
I'm just going to say that it's not just the rosters. I think it's also the culture. I think it's the
Boise's probably got
expectation.
better culture than half the teams in the SEC.
No, in terms of winning, knowing who you have to play makes a difference. In the SEC, especially now with a 12-team playoff, right? I think it is taken much more of an NFL attitude. And, like, can you imagine how crazy Alabama fans would be right now if they're 5-2 and it's a 14 playoff? We're out. We're out, no question. And right now I'm sitting up here going, hey, there's still a path. Yep, we stunk it up. We've had our flaws, but there's still a path. Because I've got now more of an NFL mindset, which is what I was worried about. I sort of missed the days of being friend. In my opinion, Alabama probably should be out of the playoffs because they hadn't shown that they're good enough. But they can still get there, and everybody says, well, that's the beauty of it. Okay.
But you're talking about a path for Alabama, a percentage. If they get 3 losses, Boise over here is going, well, if we got 1 loss, we're out for sure.
And they should
They
be.
could go undefeated. So, I mean, that's what you're always
Boise
like,
had a Boise.
forget about Boise. You brought them up. But there are other teams. Like I'm talking about, like how about BYU? I mean, they played a big boy conference.
Listen,
What if they go undefeated?
Let me tell you what.
What if Army goes undefeated?
And Army and Navy are both undefeated, and I think that is a great story.
What if Navy beats Notre Dame Saturday?
And again, great story.
Okay.
Great story. I think we're all pulled for Army Navy. We all watch Army Navy. I'm down with that. But if you're telling me, like, I can't give Army the same credit or Navy the same credit as, a Georgia, Texas, LSU, Bama, Auburn, any of those. I can't. It's apples and oranges.
But you could give an undefeated Navy the benefit of the doubt over a 3-loss SEC team, couldn't you?
No, I couldn't.
Well, then
I couldn't. I mean,
I can't talk to you.
But I know you can't, and it works out. This is going to make for a terrible show.
What do you mean? Just this?
If we can't talk to each other, we just be standing here looking at everybody.
You can't. You would get. We got to take a break anyway. We're a little behind, but
we like to be behind. That way it works out.
I'm not going to argue.
Oh my God!
Yeah, really. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center provides optimum care for the whole person. Dr. Dimo Popov specializes in the prevention and diagnosis of high blood pressure, kidney disease, diabetes, and acute and chronic conditions. Our weight loss clinic offers lipo shots and a guide to healthy weight loss. Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center, where lifestyle changes are made.
Hillary Towers may very well be the Lake Martin area's best kept secret. An affordable senior citizens community located on Highway 22 East in Alexander City. Spacious 1-bedroom units are currently available. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today for more information on the newly renovated Hillary Towers, 256-329-0552. 256-329-0552. Hillary Towers, 22 East, Alexander City.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need. With top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill. And our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Hi, I'm Abby Guy, Vice President at Riverbank and Trust. They say that most banks offer the same products, but Riverbank offers something most can't: personal connection. We love getting to know our customers by name and making them feel special with every interaction. It's a feeling of warm hospitality you won't find anywhere else. Experience it for yourself.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz live program. Andy and Luke here with you. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. We're brought to you each and every Tuesday evening by Sunshine Heating and Air. For all your heating and cooling needs, give Kevin Keel and his crew a call. Be glad to help you out. That's Sunshine Heating and Air. All right, lots to talk about the playoff. That was fun. It'll be what it'll be. We haven't even had a 12-team playoff yet. Let's actually see what it looks like and see how it goes this first year, and probably in 20, what do you say, 20, over under a 16-team playoff.
Oh, it's in 2 years. They've already said it.
You already said it?
I mean,
Okay.
it's already been set.
It's already been signed?
It's done. In 2 years, we're going to have 16 teams.
Okay. Well, there you go. See it's how much I pay attention to it. All right. You want to talk about any of these games specifically? You want to talk about the Alabama-Tennessee game?
I mean,
we
we
talked
can.
about it a little bit.
Yeah, we talked. I think we have a caller. Let's go ahead and
Okay.
get that first. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, guys, how's it going tonight?
Fine, Terry. What's up, buddy?
Doing good. I've got a question for y'all. Do y'all think Auburn wins a conference game with Peyton Thorne as a quarterback?
I can see it's happening. I could see it happening this weekend. I mean, look, if you watch Kentucky's defensive backfield, they were eaten up pretty good by Florida this past weekend. Now, of course, I was in Gainesville. Who knows? Florida's desperate. And then Vandy, though they have looked good, I mean, I applaud them. They played really well. They beat Alabama. They certainly – Auburn's got better athletes. So – I could certainly see it's happening. I don't see Auburn, no matter the quarterback, beating A&M or Alabama right now.
Right.
But I could see them winning.
I say
Kentucky,
between
Vanderbilt, or both.
Kentucky and Vandy, yes, they win at least one.
I'm with you on that.
I think the Auburn basis, it was hoping for 7-5. Now they're just lucky to get to 5-7.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Fourth straight losing season. Am I right, Andy?
Yeah, that would be correct. And the one before that was 6-5.
Right. And if I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but doesn't Peyton Thorne have a losing record at Auburn as a starter?
I don't know how he couldn't.
Yeah.
He has to. I mean, Auburn's had a losing record the last, this would be 4 years in a row if it happened. So, yeah, I mean, he has to. Did he not start? What games didn't he start last
That's
year?
8-12.
He's what?
I'm saying he's 8-12 as a starter.
Well, what games did he not start last year?
I'm trying to remember.
None that I can think of.
Did Robbie Ashford start any games last year for Auburn?
It seemed like he started at least one. And obviously Hank Brown started one this year.
Yeah, but
So-
they won that one.
Yes. No, that was Arkansas.
No, he started Arkansas, but he also started the one before that, right?
Hank?
New Mexico.
Didn't he?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Is he, or he started that game or not.
Regardless, yeah, I think he's got to have a losing record. And look, I'll say this sort of like everybody, the quarterback gets all the blame and all the accolades, right? This isn't all Peyton Thorne's fault. I mean, he did put the pass right in Robert Lewis's bread box, and it went right through his hands like I couldn't believe. Now, I think the question there is, why are you doing that play to Robert Lewis versus Malcolm Simmons or somebody else like that? That's the question I'd have. So because when Peyton Thorne does mess around and throw a great pass, you got to have a receiver in there who's going to catch it. Now, maybe the receivers are so surprised it's a great pass they don't catch it. I don't know.
Well, the bomb he threw to Cam Coleman was perfect. Beautiful. You can't throw it anybody.
Again, I would chalk that up to a great play call because Coleman
But you still got to make the throw.
You do have to make you just throw it as far as you can. Coleman's going to get that puppy.
Well, if it was that easy, we'd do it a lot more often.
Well, it's that easy if you throw it to the right guy, I think.
Well, he's also the quarterback that fumbled, and he's also the quarterback that took unnecessary sacks, and that's Mark. He's also the quarterback that missed wide open receivers.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not here to defend Peyton Thorne to you. That's not my argument at all. I'm just saying that I think he gets all the blame, just like he would get all the praise if Auburn had been winning these games.
I can see that. I see what you're saying. I don't disagree with you there, Luke. I think it's a valid argument, but I just think he's bad all the way around. I just don't think the guy – when he come from Michigan State, all we heard was his decision-making, his accuracy. I have seen neither of those two things at all. None of it. Zero.
Yeah, that's hard to argue.
So, and I want to switch to the kid. Towns Magoo, great kid, does a pretty good job, but he's not as good as McPherson. Let's be honest. He's not.
He's not right now, that's for sure.
No, he's not, period. No, he's not, period. And right now, next week, next year, it doesn't matter. He's not as good as McPherson. Great kickoff guy, but to miss a 31-yard field goal, I can't.
That's painful.
He's a true freshman. He's got the yips. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's in his head. It's mental right now. And that I think McPherson's just a freak. His brother was that way. I mean, he's missed one field goal in college. That is not normal.
What year is McPherson? Is he a sophomore?
This would have been his third year.
Oh, this would have been his junior year?
Yeah.
So, well, I wonder, it's a good question of what's going to happen because, I mean, in this day and age, you've got a kid in Magoo and you say, okay, well, he's not great. He's got the yips, but I think he is a good kicker. McPherson's been dealing with this, issue, this medical issue, but he's apparently on the precipice of coming back. What happens at the end of the year? I mean, would you rather have Magoo back, who's, yes, he's had the yips, but you see the potential, or would you rather have McPherson back, who will be a senior next year, and you may only have him for one more season?
Well, we're talking about kickers.
And
Magoo's not even on scholarship.
Well, let me say this.
He's on NIL right now. So.
Ask Nick Saban if he would have liked to have some good kickers through the
I'm
years.
talking about we could bring both of them back. And I expect to bring both of them back.
Well, I'm saying somebody's going to give Magoo a scholarship.
Yeah.
Isn't McPherson just a sophomore?
I thought he was just a sophomore.
I'm thinking this would have been, maybe he was, but I thought this was going to be.
Could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be his third year, but maybe it's not.
Then he hasn't kicked all year. If he kicks in the last race, he's eligible for a red shirt.
That's
could be, but again,
he may have taken a red shirt that first year. I don't know.
I doubt he took a red shirt. I don't think he did. And red shirts, what do they even matter anymore? I mean, somebody would just, if he wants to go pro, they'll go pro. I mean, there's more money there, so who knows? And I think he's a pro kicker.
Question for you, real quick: does Alabama lose another game?
I'm saying yes. I'm not super confident either way. I'm saying yes. I'm very nervous about LSU specifically because they're going to throw the ball all over the field. Alabama's got defensive back problems, and Keon Sabb's out for a little bit. So I'm going to say yes. It wouldn't shock me if Alabama goes to Baton Rouge and wins because they win in Baton Rouge a lot. But I think they probably lose another game. If they don't lose at LSU, I think they got a great shot to make the playoffs.
I think if they lose to Missouri, I say yes.
If they lose to Missouri, then yes.
Great. You guys have a great night. Thank y'all.
Thank you,
Appreciate it, Terry. Yeah. I feel I said this today, and I'm not trying to defend Hugh Freeze. I'm just trying to put myself in his position. And you got a quarterback now of his choosing that there's no getting around that. That he brought back Peyton Thorne to be the starter this year. But you got a quarterback that's obviously turnover prone. You got an offensive line that's made up of a patchwork of transfers and a redshirt freshman and a sophomore. And you don't trust them, and rightly so, because they give up, free rushers every game, several times. You got a kicker that you can't trust that's a true freshman that shouldn't even be out there, but your other guy's hurt for whatever reason. So how do you put a game plan together? How do you call plays in that kind of situation?
I think call more run plays than you've been calling number one.
Well, we called 19, and we ran for 3 yards a carry against Missouri.
Okay.
I mean, what?
But, okay, let's say, but here would be my counter.
Again, their offensive line's not blocking that well.
Let me tell you. Yeah,
All
here's
right.
my counter.
Please.
I would look at this on the whole versus just recency bias and say, I mean, bottom line, Auburn was lucky to be in the Missouri game because Missouri's quarterback actually went to the deadgum hospital, and he obviously is better than the backup. It ain't a question.
I would agree with that.
And I would say if Cook had been in there the whole time, Auburn probably would have been down a lot more because Auburn really didn't get a lot going. Let's also say this. Auburn scored 7 of their points off a muffed punt that got kicked into the end zone. It wasn't like the offense did a lot, right? Okay. But so my point is Auburn probably should have lost to Missouri anyway. I'm talking more about Cal and Arkansas and now Oklahoma, especially now that we know what Oklahoma is, which is stinky bodinky. And you're losing those games because you're putting your team in a position to not win. Because you're stubborn in the way that you want to do things. And you say, well, Peyton Thorne should have done this. We all know
No,
Peyton.
I'm just saying they were in position to win. They just didn't do it.
Correct. And I would chalk that up to coaching.
Well, if the coach puts you in position to win, then where's the line?
It's a gray area. I give you that.
Does a coach not have anything to do with you being up 21-10?
It's a gray area. I give you that. But you're talking about the Oklahoma game now.
Yeah, well,
okay.
that one.
Well, I would say that the
What
coach
if we're
does
up 24-6 against Missouri?
Does anybody think that Oklahoma wins that game if they don't have the pick six?
No, I don't think. I doubt
Why did you call that play?
Okay, so you get too aggressive against Oklahoma. You're too aggressive. So against Missouri, you try to run out the clock being conservative. You get screwed both ways.
First of all, it's not, you're not playing these games in a vacuum. You're playing two totally different teams. Missouri, you might need to be more aggressive. And again, I'll just chalk this up because Missouri has the capability, especially with Cook coming back. If Cook doesn't come back, Auburn wins that game.
Well, look, how do you know when Cook comes back? I mean, I don't know what they shot him up with, but I want some.
There's a lot of it. And it worked.
It worked. But I mean, you don't know. I mean, he's running around like, the boot, he hauled off like he couldn't even hardly walk.
Here's the difference to me, Andy, and this is so
clear.
clear.
And it wasn't like Cook just was magnificent. Okay, he had one pass.
He was pretty good.
A short pass that ran for 78 yards.
That's right.
He had one drive.
Okay.
So it's not like Brady Cook's some
fair. Fair.
Okay.
But I would say this, that they do have two of the better wide receivers in the conference. At least one of the best duos in the conference. I don't know if both of them – I mean, Luther Burden had the year that we thought he would have, but he's really good, and Theo Weiss is really good. And then,
I would agree.
Now, so having said that, you got aggressive against the team you should have been conservative with and conservative against the team you should have been aggressive with. And that's where I say that is coaching. Because, see, Missouri can come back on you. They did have a quarterback that can make the pass. On the I think there was a 4th and 5 where he hit Luther Burden, who was pretty wide open. His backup ain't making that play. His backup just ain't making that play. No. And so my point is, you got to know as a coach when to be aggressive, when to be conservative. And so you can't just say, I was conservative one time and I was wrong, and I was aggressive another time and I was wrong. What you need to know about the context. And the context was you're playing an Oklahoma team that was down 5 receivers. They had nobody to throw to. Nobody. And you gave up a pick six. They had
one guy to throw to.
And that was, okay, they got lucky on one.
Yeah.
But for the most part, Auburn stopped them. And the only thing you couldn't do was do what you did.
Well, I mean, if you go into that game, and in that second half, the defense had played very buttoned up. We had made them earn, except that for one play. If you would have said, Coach, Missouri's going to go on a 17-play, 95-yard drive, you'd have said, no way against this defense. So, I mean, you trust your defense. So you're you try to play conservative. 6 minutes to play in the game, punt it down there. You did what you did. You did everything, and it still didn't work out. It just keeps coming back to this team just is finding ways to lose instead of finding ways to win.
And Missouri doesn't know. Missouri is better.
And Freeze is complicit in that. I'm not saying he's not.
And Missouri's better than Oklahoma, and Missouri's better than Auburn. I think man for man, Missouri's probably a little better right now. It ain't by much, and it won't be for long. But I think for now, I think Missouri's a little better and a little more experienced, and they definitely have the better quarterback when he's healthy.
I think they have a much more veteran and talented offensive and defensive line.
Correct. And that's about all you need.
And that's the difference between Auburn and most every team in the SEC right now.
And I agree with that. But I think
the last 2 years, let me just say this. The last 2 years, Auburn, because of the previous regimes, and I'm saying that plural, failures.
Yeah, but
18 transfers on the offensive and defensive line Auburn has played the last 2 years.
Okay, let me ask you
18.
this. Fair. Why is now? Let's go to Indiana.
When
now I know Auburn's.
When the core of our team is made up of Western Kentucky and Tulsa and Akron and Purdue.
I hear you.
I mean,
I know, but now I'll say this, y'all. I listened to Auburn Blitz this summer.
Okay.
Y'all were fired up about these cats for a little bit.
Yeah, we get talked into anything.
I know, and part of that's on Hugh Freeze. He told y'all how good these guys were. Now, the other thing is...
No. Hugh Freeze said right before the season, the offensive line has got some problems.
Okay.
And we all went, yeah, he's just trying to motivate them.
Well, let me say this. Tell me about Indiana then, because Indiana brought in, I think, 12 guys from JMU, which is where Kurt Signetti came from.
Which I think that's the next head coach of all.
All right, we got another call. Let's get it. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you there?
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, I think the problem is down there at Auburn just like Alabama.
What's that?
They ain't got no defense, coach. The coaches is what the problem is.
I'm not super fired up about Alabama's defensive coordinator. I can give you that for sure. I don't know how Auburn feels about DJ Durkin.
Well, you got Thursday's ball game, that last drive, we got 3rd and 18. He rushes 3 people up there. Quarterback got all day and tomorrow to throw the ball. I mean, you put a decent quarterback, and he got all day to throw. No pressure on him at all. You got 3rd and 18 rushing 3 players, and no pressure at all on Cook. And then they go on down there and they got a 4th down play on that same drive when they went down there and scored. They rushing 3 players, and one of them sitting back there. And, I mean, it's just a joke, man, why that defense do it. High school coaches know better than that, man.
Hey, we appreciate your phone call. Thanks for calling in, bud.
All right, I'm just telling the truth because the coaches what the problem is.
I got you, bud. Thank you.
Get it in stereo.
Yeah. Just a note out there to everybody, when you call in, be sure and turn your TV down. Hey, I'll say this, at least Auburn's learning. They went from rushing 2 when it's 4th down to rushing 3.
Yeah, look,
they're learning.
Yeah, right. Look, I really the Auburn defense is I disagree, with some of the calls that have been made. I agree with the caller that there have been the rushing 3 thing. When you got a secondary as young as Auburn is right now, and it is just full of true freshmen and redshirt freshmen and sophomores, they're going to make mistakes, and they're going, we can't cover anybody for more than, about 5 seconds. So this rushing 3, I don't even know why we ever do that. It's just not a winning strategy. We gave up 13 yards on that 3rd and 18, which set up a 4th and 5. And that was the easiest pitch and catch to Luther Burden, who is a great receiver. And Cook made an excellent throw. But it was so easy, and it was they didn't get 6 yards. I think they got 13 or 14 yards on a 4th and 5. Now, Keontae Scott, he was, I thought, one of the best players on the team last year defensively for Auburn. He looks like he has completely forgotten how to play football. So how do you explain that? I don't know. Maybe that is. Obviously, I guess you say that's coaching. I don't know. They coached him down instead of up. But it leaves a lot to be desired. I will say that 100%. I agree with the caller. I don't know about Kane Womack.
Kane Womack is, I mean,
he's
not the most beloved character in Tuscaloosa right
moment.
now. Now, I thought they played pretty well against Tennessee. I mean, it wasn't the defense's fault, in my opinion. There was a lot of other problems, but the defense did fine against Tennessee. Tennessee's got some dudes, and so they did fine. They didn't do great, but they did fine. I'll tell you something else. We talked about Kalen DeBoer's appearance earlier, and he wore – again, I know to some people you're like, why even talk about it? Why does it bring it up? Because I do think sometimes it's the little things. I do think it's the little – if Andy and I showed up on this show wearing tuxedos, y'all would be like, what's wrong with them? If Andy and I showed up on this show wearing, Tony Soprano muscle shirts, you'd be like, what's wrong with them? But, we're showing up in sort of a casual, polo-y kind of way because that's how we operate. That's sort of the way the show is. It's a little more casual. We want it to be that way. But when you're talking about Alabama football, to me, you don't have to be in a Gene Stallings coat and tie. You don't have to be in a formal suit. But I do think a Nike T-shirt's a little below where you need to be, a little below the standard. In this past week, he wore like a quarter zip hoodie that was sort of a polo, but sort of not, and sort of something else. I was like, just get rid of all that. Just wear a nice game day polo. That's all you got to do. Nobody's saying wear a coat and tie. But going back to what my point is, I feel like you look at Hugh Freeze on the sideline. He looks disheveled. He looks like he hasn't slept in days.
Again, he always looks like that, though.
That's fine, but I'm saying, so when things aren't meticulous, it looks like they're playing like the vibe he's giving off. Same way with Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley comes out there, he's got some kind of the newest of the new Nike USC stuff, and he's got the funky shades, and yet we show up all snazzy and look glitzy, and then you get your butt kicked by Maryland.
And he's got a napkin just that he's looking off of.
It's like, I think some of it is, Nick Saban didn't dress to the nines, but he was pretty buttoned up enough. And by the end of the game, he never looked like he had just been through war. His shirt wasn't untucked and going crazy. He treated the beginning of the game as the end of the game. And I understand everybody's got to be their own personality. I get that too. But I'm saying that don't be surprised when your team plays with the same aura of your coach. And that's what I get the feeling of. So when Kalen DeBoer was sort of smiling after beating South Carolina or whatever, some people had a problem with it. I didn't. I get it. And winning any game in the SEC is tough, especially now. But some people were like, don't smile after that performance. We were lucky to get out of there, and we were. And Nick Saban would have said something different. But Kalen DeBoer isn't Nick Saban. But I also get what they're saying. Like, if Alabama's going to keep calling themselves the standard, Tyler Booker goes on radio every week on the next round and says, we're still the standard. Alabama's the standard. Okay, I can buy that. But then the standard can't be, hey, lucky to get out of that one against South Kakalaki. That's not the standard. You can say, hey, we take every game the same. We approach every game the same. But it doesn't look like Alabama's approaching every game the same right now. And that's what I'm saying. I go back to Hugh Freeze. He's not shaving real well. His eyes are, he got the bags under his eyes. And he always, I'll tell you something, I really think
that's Auburn.
I think part of this is also, there's no
you.
doubt in my mind this has affected Peyton Thorne. When Peyton Thorne looks over there and he either has a mess up or does something wrong, because again, at this point, we all know Peyton Thorne's flawed, right? And Hugh Freeze puts his hands on his hip and he throws his hand down, throws the little Waffle House menu he's got, and it's like he's emanating this sense of disappointment, which I know fans have, and I get that. But I'm saying you don't want your team feeling that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's the problem that's the problem with having your head coach as a play caller. Part of it. But I don't know what the answer is. All right, we got to take a break. But we are
beat Kentucky and all is well with your world, Andy.
It'll be better. It will be well.
Are you going?
No.
Don't you have family in Kentucky?
I do.
Okay.
I don't like them, though.
I don't want you to go to break.
We got to go to break. We're woefully behind, but never fear. We'll be back with hour number 2 of Sports Blitz Live right after these messages.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Get ready to rev up your fall with Adams Motorsports in Montgomery. This season, experience the thrill of the open road like never before. From sleek motorcycles to powerful ATVs to versatile side-by-sides, we've got everything you need to fuel your passion for adventure. Whether Polaris, Suzuki, or Kawasaki, Adams sells and services the best. Go to where the journey begins. Visit us today or online for more information. From East Alabama's first family of power sports, Adams Motorsports of Montgomery.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense. Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is coming soon to the corner of 280 and 49 North in Daytonville. This new 10,000 square foot facility is conveniently located to serve the residents of the Lake Martin area and its many communities. A branch of Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory in Opelika, Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation looks forward to serving your families and your communities, as we have since 1900 at Frederick Dean. 256-750-0381.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at BamaSheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you for about one more hour in tonight's program. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us tonight. Been a fun show so far. A lot of good spirited discussion. We'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts? 256-234-6221. We beat Auburn and Alabama to death tonight, I think.
They deserve it.
They deserve it. Maybe a firing squad should be appropriate. Or how do you feel about the execution of your team? Who was it? John McKay once said.
I'm
in favor of it.
Let me say this. Let's also say this, that Alabama. I don't know what Auburn's story is when they play. I know they had the tip-off at Toomer's thing, which apparently was a big success, and then Alabama played Wake Forest in Boutwell Auditorium in Birmingham. And I got to catch a lot of that game, and it was, Bama was down 4 dudes who were going to play. I know they were down Grant Nelson, Latrell Wrightsell, Chris Youngblood, and there was one other one who didn't play, and his name escapes me. Oh, Aiden Sherrill, who was one of the best, was a 5-star coming in. And they beat Wake Forest by like 21 and scored 98 points. I mean, basketball season's right around the corner, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm sort of tired of hey, isn't this great? It's so new. It's not new anymore. This is the new standard.
Yeah.
And I think everybody needs to get used to that and quit calling it new, because I think it degrades.
Auburn fans are never going to, well, at least those that are born not in this century, are going to look at this like, I can't believe this is.
Well, it does degrade a little bit about how much has been accomplished by both programs. And so I'm sort of saying, hey, I'm not surprised by it anymore. I'm not. I expect Alabama, as an Alabama fan, and I'm sure you do as an Auburn as an Auburn fan, to be in the top 25 every year and to be a threat. Yeah, it's basketball. You're going to have upsets. You play 40 games. You're going to be upset. But same time, I just saw a bracketology today from ESPN. It's got Alabama as a number 1 seed. Auburn is number 2 seed. Auburn in the bracket with Kansas. I think Alabama, their number 2 seed was Iowa State. It's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to look forward to. And it is a bit of a shame that we don't, now that we have it, we don't give it the same recognition as we do football, even when football is rather mediocre and pedestrian.
This is true. I'm certainly looking forward to it. November, early November, mid-November?
Yeah, it's really – Alabama plays in a couple of weeks. I'm sure Auburn does too.
I think Auburn goes to Houston the second game maybe.
Mm-hmm.
That one's, you're going to find out a whole lot.
What, Alabama and Auburn both play Houston this year.
Yeah, really?
Alabama plays them in Vegas. I wish they had made that the first game, but of course it is. And Houston's got dudes. Houston's got dudes.
They've been having them, for a while.
Calvin Sampson, he don't mess around.
No. Since they, don't really care about phone calls anymore, he got no problem.
No. I think, that's another thing. We can quit saying everything about everything. Nobody cares about anything anymore. My God. I mean, it's so lawless right now. It's bananas. I mean, I saw somebody on the Auburn Blitz when y'all were doing it, and they had the comment. Somebody said, I've heard some rumors about some people tampering with Auburn players. I was like, well, how would they hear about it? Because I'm sure Auburn's tampering just as hard everywhere. I mean, it's all tampering. All of it.
If they're tampering with our receivers, I hope we're tampering with their quarterback. LSU and Arkansas. How about this one? I know one of us said that LSU was going to be pretty good this year, and I think one of us mocked the other one.
I did. Look, sometimes, occasionally, I'm wrong.
But were you surprised that they won this handily in?
A little, because I thought Arkansas would put up a little bit more of a fight. We've seen Arkansas, but now it makes more sense now that we have a larger sample size, because Arkansas, they held Tennessee to 0 points in the first half, and we're like, oh my God, that's incredible. Well, then Tennessee scored 0 points the first half against Florida. We're like, wow, that's interesting. Then Tennessee scored 0 points the first half against Bama. You're like,
I see a pattern.
I see a pattern. And so maybe we gave them a little too much credit for beating Tennessee. Maybe. And maybe we haven't given –
Or maybe we gave Tennessee too much credit for beating Oklahoma.
Correct. And maybe I can't tell if LSU's underrated or overrated yet, because I don't think it should go unnoticed. Their loss is to a USC team that can't beat anybody.
Yeah.
And their wins, they beat Ole Miss, but frankly, they needed a lot to happen to be able to beat Ole Miss. And they did go on the road and beat Arkansas, but that we don't know if that's good yet or not. We just don't know.
Yeah. Their season is still to be determined.
Let's see what happens. I'll tell you what, if LSU goes to A&M and beats them at their place, Katie bar the door.
And if A&M beats LSU, get Katie bar the door.
Yeah.
Because
Katie's going to be doing some door barring regardless.
That game at the end of the year between Texas and Texas A&M, all of a sudden.
Bananas. Can you imagine the ticket prices?
Unbelievable.
I might buy a ticket to that now just to be able to sell it.
It could be crazy.
And that is real. What if A&M, and look, you look at A&M's schedule, if they get by LSU, their schedule is, they got to go to South Carolina, I think, the next week. That's no joke. We all know South Carolina's
worse at home. They are on the road.
But they're not necessarily to be trifled with defensively. No. So if they get by these two, they get by LSU and they go to Texas, look, that means we keep forgetting LSU. I mean, Texas A&M's undefeated in the conference right now. So even if, let's say Georgia slips up somewhere else against LSU, against Tennessee, whatever, it could be Texas A&M playing back-to-back games. It could be.
For three down the line in the playoff.
Could be.
I mean,
that's bananas to think about. We always talked about Alabama and Auburn doing it.
Yeah.
What are the odds it'd be Texas A&M after all these years they hadn't played at all, and then we get them 3 times in 1 year?
Or you talking about Alabama and Georgia doing it this year? And,
yeah, that's not.
I mean,
gonna happen
it's
either.
just crazy how you think about things at the beginning of the year, and then you're like, what? What happened?
What had happened was.
How about South Carolina going to Oklahoma again? Oklahoma, as it turns out, and like so many, I mean, I started thinking about it in that Auburn-Missouri game. When I saw Cook warming up on the sideline, and we were up 17-6, I thought, we're about to turn Cook into a legend. And, sure enough, exactly. I mean, I don't know what it is. Is it just me? Is it just because I'm an Auburn fan and pay attention to it? Do we make more mediocre quarterbacks look great than any other school ever? I mean, the kid in Oklahoma, we're looking at a star being born. He's awful.
He just got replaced.
I know.
And they just
that's
announced
what I'm
that
saying.
Jackson Arnold's going to be they're like, been so bad lately, Jackson Arnold's the starter for the rest of the year. We're not even
Look, I mean, the kid, I'm not down to the kid. He's just a true freshman.
Yeah, he'll get better.
He don't know anything about anything, but he's no good. So, I mean, we make him look like the burgeoning star. I mean, every time we get a backup quarterback come in, they throw for 1,000,000 yards. I mean, it's just it's frustrating. But anyway, look, South Carolina rolled up 35 points. They only had 254 total
because
yards.
they had a lot of their points were either directly because of the defense or indirectly because of the defense. So, and Oklahoma had no answers. Dude.
4 turnovers for Oklahoma. Is Venables in trouble? Because Oklahoma's may not win another game.
It's just year 2 for him.
3, I believe. He had a bad first year, then he had a good second year.
Okay,
Now
so it
he's
is year
having a
3?
bad
All right.
year.
I don't know that he's in trouble. I mean, it was funny. I looked at some recruiting rankings today because there have been a lot of updates.
He's
lately.
probably not in trouble.
I mean, and, you got Alabama's either 1 or 2, then you got Georgia, LSU, Auburn, and then you got Tennessee, Texas, and then Oklahoma, and Texas A&M, and then Oklahoma's right there. Oklahoma's like number 11 in the country. They might be 8th in the SEC. And, it's just a tough league, man. And Oklahoma drew the short straw in the schedule. They did.
No question about that.
I mean, Texas needs to be thanking folks that Texas really screwed up losing to Georgia. They really screwed up. You win that game, you're a virtual lock.
Yeah.
And now
they better be worried about Saturday.
Well, there were Tony Bramberg brought that up about
giant killer
the Vandy. And look, I can't see Vandy winning that game. I didn't see Vandy winning against Alabama, but I don't think Texas will get down in a 13-0 hole immediately. And I don't think Texas will give up a 17, 18-yard play drive.
Is there a quarterback controversy in Texas?
Now, according to Sarkisian, he put Archie Manning in there just to try and light a fire.
That's how it starts.
That's how a fire starts. Yeah, sometimes you light a fire and you can't put that puppy out.
That's right.
I don't know. I don't know if there's a controversy. If they lose another game, Texas is in a lot of trouble. In fact, I've been saying all along, if Texas or, if an SEC team, especially one of the bigger ones, only loses 2 games, they're a lock to the playoffs. I don't know that Texas is because now you look at Michigan. Michigan just lost their 3rd game. I think they've got a difficult game coming up this weekend.
Michigan State.
They've also got Oregon on the schedule a little bit later on. Look, Michigan could have 5-6 losses.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden that loss doesn't look so good anymore. I mean, that win doesn't look so good anymore for Texas. Their only chance to show out, because they don't play LSU, they don't play Bama, they don't play Tennessee, they don't, the only chance they had to make a statement was Georgia. They had them at home, they had everything they needed, and they lose. Georgia doubles them up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty wild that's set up that way because if Texas drops another game, I take it back. They do now. Their schedule looks a little more daunting on the end with Texas A&M. If they go 10-2 and their losses are only to Texas A&M and to Georgia, I think they're out because those are the only 2 teams they played. That's it. They have nothing to hang their hook on, or hang their coat on or hook. Something. Is it hanging?
Yeah, hook on a hook. I don't. Your hat on a hook.
If you had a hook.
Yeah.
If you were, I know what you did last summer.
Nail the hook
and
to
you
the
wanted
wall.
to put the hook on the hook.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Or you were a fisherman.
We need a screwdriver. I don't know.
They have
All
nothing
right,
to hang their hat on. That's what I meant.
That's be good enough.
I was trying to change it up when it's always stupid.
That's all right. That's all right. All right. As the puns fall from his mouth, we will take a break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
The good guys at Alex City Marine are ready for your boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tri-Tunes and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City or online at alexcitymarine.com. The new owners of Stillwater's Country Club want to welcome you to play the area's premier course at Stillwater's with our new rate. Now, play for only $35 per 18 during the week and only $40 for the weekend. Stillwater's Golf is ready to give you the area's best golf experience, and many upgrades are coming, including a lighted range and course expansion. Meet the new staff and enjoy $35 per 18 Monday through Friday and $40 on the weekends. All at Stillwater's Country Club in Dadeville.
They say we live in an age of big data, where computers and fancy algorithms are supposed to know you best. But at Country Financial, we know helping you own your future requires, well, something much bigger. Contact your local Country Financial representative and start planning for your future with a personal touch.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care opens 7 days a week. Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us this evening. Florida, is it about how bad Kentucky is, or are we a little bit impressed with Billy Napier? He's kind of turned this thing around a little bit.
Look, I think you can't help but be impressed with Napier a little bit. He's had every reason in the world to fold up tent. And
it ain't over yet. But.
No, but you know what? His team should have beaten Tennessee.
Yeah, could have.
There was another game in there. I mean, Texas A&M sort of got away from him. Obviously, Miami got away from him. But those two losses now look a lot like, okay, we understand. He also has lost Graham Mertz, who was beginning to really play well. I think if Mertz –
I hate to say it, but that may be a good thing for Florida.
Well, because it forces Lagway into development. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But Florida's got such a stretch coming. I mean, and secondly, they also he beat up on Gus Malzahn. Malzahn, boy, he is doing the most Auburn-esque type stuff at UCF. He's getting these big leads on Iowa State and then blowing it. I mean, it's wild.
And they who was it? They had a big lead on them, and they came back and won. Was it Baylor or somebody? I forget.
Well, Colorado blew them out, I think.
Yeah, at home.
So it's pretty wild to see that. They also had one of the guys drop a pick six. He dropped it right at the 1 yard line. Luckily, nobody picked it up. So what happens is it goes back to where the fumble took place, and it goes to the 1 yard, and it's still Central Florida ball. But the dropping the ball on the 1 yard line thing is still just baffling to me. I don't understand. What's the point?
I don't know. I have yet to figure that one out.
I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't just take it with you all the way through the end zone. And
why do you want to get rid of the ball? So
I mean, you just made a great play.
It's for show, clearly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, Florida. I'm impressed with Napier keeping it together. Now, the problem is the recruiting class seems to be crumbling to an extent. Steve Mbachu, I think that's how you say his name, is a guy that may be flipping to, Texas, Auburn, Alabama, Georgia. He may be flipping somewhere. I think most people think it's going to be Texas.
What positions he play?
Defensive line. Kid out of Georgia.
I got a Happy Meal if he'll flip to Auburn.
You got to be impressed with Billy Napier. I mean, look, he's not going to win Coach of the Year or anything, but he's doing okay.
Well, that was kind of the problem, and last year was that recruiting class fell apart the way it did. If that happens again, it's
tough to overcome it.
Tough to overcome. I think, depending on how they end up, we'll see. Because I thought after that Miami game, it was a foregone conclusion he would not be back.
Well, I think we've all been thinking that. Now, look, they've got LSU. I don't know if they've got LSU at home or on the road. They must have them at home because I know they go to Texas.
They got Georgia.
They got
Saturday,
Georgia and
right?
Jacksonville.
Yeah. Not this Saturday. That's next Saturday. Is that
Yeah,
right?
they got a week off. Georgia and Florida both have a week off.
They got Ole Miss, right?
They have Ole Miss, and I believe Ole Miss goes to Florida. So I don't know. Maybe the LSU.
Now that Florida State doesn't look as daunting.
No, it's going to be wild. But I think if he can hold this together and show some promise, some things will come together for Florida. Maybe he'll end up being okay. I mean, I'm shocked, but that's why I'm giving him a lot of credit.
Yeah. Just bouncing around college football. Oregon, no problem with Purdue. Miami's number 6 in the country. They're undefeated, but man, they're living on borrowed time.
I mean, borrowed time. They're not very good.
Their defense is certainly porous for sure.
Well, their quarterback is awesome. He might win Heisman.
Yeah,
he probably should.
Iowa State. You're a recruiting guy. Was he close? If Auburn wanted him, could they have paid him?
I keep hearing some people say that. I mean, I think he probably cost too much. I mean, Hugh Freeze certainly intimated that he wasn't going to pay that for a quarterback. Well,
I think if he had
to do it over, I think he'd pay for it. I think he'd drop a couple of other guys he signed.
He'd give him stock in Yellowwood. I mean, okay. How about Iowa State? They're undefeated. Who was it?
Borrowed time.
Charles. Well, that's true. Charles called in and said, "What about their coach?" I just
Campbell?
can't stomach anything from Iowa State again. But
Matt Campbell,
I think he's a decent coach.
He is, but he also is Jekyll and Hyde. I mean, he'll have a great year and then 2 bad years, and then a great year and 2 bad years. So
Clemson rebounded. They're number 10. They take care of Virginia. How about BYU stays undefeated again? They're just kind of.
They also had a tight when they scored
Oklahoma State
on a touchdown at home late, like 11 seconds left to win that game. By the way, LSU is at Florida, and I think LSU is at Florida.
Do you think that makes a difference?
I do. I mean, certainly. I mean, I think LSU definitely plays better at home. I don't think there's any doubt. And LSU plays Florida at Florida the weekend after they play Alabama.
Okay, so that's what.
I think that makes a big difference.
Okay, interesting. How about Indiana? Are they for real? 56-7 over Nebraska. Nebraska's not good.
No, Nebraska's not great, but they do.
And Indiana does not play. I think they play Ohio State at the end of the year.
They do play Ohio State, and I think they play Ohio State right before Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah,
if I remember right. But I want to look up Indiana's schedule, but ESPN is not cooperating with me right now. And
what if Illinois and Indiana play in the Big Ten title game?
It won't get a lot of eyeballs.
Yeah.
But look, I could watch that. And now I'm going.
Illinois goes to Oregon Saturday.
Indiana and Washington this weekend. And by the way, that's where College Game Day is.
Washington stinks.
Yeah, they do. But I think this is the first. Now I've seen conflicting reports, but I believe this is the first time Game Day's been in Indiana. So here's Indiana's remaining schedule. Washington at home, then at Michigan State, Michigan at Indiana, Indiana at Ohio State, and Purdue at Indiana. There's a very, very good chance Indiana's going to finish with just one loss, I would say. Purdue's terrible. I think they have a great shot against.
Where do they play Ohio State?
At Ohio State.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think that probably matters much, but you look at their schedule. Here's the problem. Their schedule was FIU. They did beat them handily. They beat Western Illinois handily. They did go to UCLA, beat up on them. Then Charlotte, then Maryland, then Northwestern, and Nebraska. So it's not a murderer's row. They've played 0 people. But I think
they've beaten them to death.
They've beaten them to death, so they could play Ohio State twice.
Interesting. Let's see. We'll round this thing out here.
Well, I take that back. It wouldn't be Ohio State. It'd be Oregon, wouldn't it?
Probably so. Yeah.
But that's assuming they would have to beat Ohio State to do that. It's probably more likely it's Ohio State, Oregon in a rematch. But
Illinois beat Michigan. Not terrible surprise, I don't think. Army and Navy remain undefeated, as we talked about. Duke beats Florida State. NC State beats Cal. Cal's exactly what we thought they were.
Not good.
They're not good. Colorado destroys Arizona. Maryland defeats USC.
How about this? Look, how about this? Ohio State and Penn State on not this Saturday, but next.
Yeah, both undefeated. Well, I don't know. Sneaky. Penn State goes to Wisconsin Saturday.
Yeah, that is
sneaky.
That is a sneaky game because again, I've been up there. That place is going to be rocking. Wisconsin. Now they're 5-2. Wisconsin wasn't looking great,
and still don't have Van Dyke back. So apparently,
no, I think he's done for the year. Yeah. That guy's not bad. I told you. I mean, everybody talked about, you got lucky Van Dyke was on. I'm like, the backup looked pretty doggone sporty, and I think he's coming around pretty well. Now they did lose one of their main running backs, but this Wisconsin team's no joke. You play them at night. It's much different playing them at night than it was. I mean, Alabama was fortunate to play them because Fox chose that as their game of the day or whatever.
Yeah.
So you play them at 11 o'clock. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody enjoys that. But if you had played them at night, it would have been a little bit different scenario probably. And I was there for jump around. All that was fun. Look, I'm not – Penn State with Ohio State coming up next, that's one to keep an eye on.
Could be interesting. Wisconsin say, I wish we would have played Alabama later in the year.
Yeah.
It's weird. Alabama's kind of reversed from the Saban years. You better get them early because you ain't going to get them late. Now everybody's saying, let's play them late.
Well, you could have played us just about any time this year, it looks like.
All right, we got to take a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Foshie Sportz on Dable Road in Alexander City is always making improvements, making it bigger, like making their pellet ice a 10-pound bag for $2. How about their biscuits? Have you tried their biscuits with regular cheese or hoop cheese with sausage and ham and salmon? Oh, and throw an egg on there and you got a happy person. And don't forget about they have propane and wood. That's Foshie Sportz, Dable Road, Alex City.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to Goree'sFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. shop, click, ship. It's just that easy. You can shop us here or you can shop us online, only at Gorey's Furniture.
Your express way to saving.
GMC SUVs, GMC SUVs. On sale now at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. The GMC Terrain, the compact SUV with seating for 5. And now discounted up to $6,500 off. The full-size GMC Yukons, discounted up to $9,000 off. Choose from almost 200 new GMCs. Get your best price every day on the lot or online at glennsmith.com.
Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you for an indeterminate amount of time. Let's take a look at some games upcoming this Saturday. Syracuse all of a sudden is 5-1, 2-1 in the what do they play
ACC.
in? Are they in the ACC?
Yeah, they've been
in the ACC. They are taking on number 19 and undefeated Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a 6-point favorite at home here. This one on a Thursday night. This is actually probably worth watching. This probably
it's a nice game. It's not bad. I'm down with it.
How about if Pittsburgh? I mean, what if Pittsburgh wins the ACC and Indiana wins the Big Ten and BYU wins the Big 12? I mean, you talk about a Luke Robinson nightmare. That has got to be part of it. Wow. That'd be like watching The Exorcist for you.
It would. And look, be honest, y'all don't want to see that.
That's only 3 teams. There's plenty of others.
And we got to have one of the group of 5s.
Yeah, maybe UNLV maybe or Army.
Oh, God.
UNLV or Army or
Easy Stomach.
Or Boise.
Easy Stomach.
I would go for Army.
Look, I had the gout recently. That'd be the stomach equivalent of the gout.
If you had to have either Navy, Army, or UNLV, Navy, Army, or Boise State, who would you want as the group of 5?
I'd choose Army or Navy to be patriotic for sure.
Okay.
Probably.
How about, when is the last time the Army-Navy game has meant anything ever? Could you imagine
Been a while.
2 undefeated teams playing for a playoff spot?
It would be
great.
Look, I'll tell you the truth. I am kind of down for that.
Yeah,
okay.
that'd be cool.
Now, and I'll say this, that means both of them will have beaten Notre Dame, which I have to give them props for.
Yeah.
And it might be the highest rated college football game of all time.
It could be.
Because to not watch it would be unpatriotic.
I would agree.
To not watch, and it is the only game in town.
Right.
It's the only college game in town that day. So, it might really be the most watched game of all time. I can get on board with that.
And it's not going to happen, but it would be
It's
fun.
not going to happen, but it is. Look, even if they both have one loss going into this thing, and both those losses are each to Notre Dame, this game's going to mean a lot. And that may be the last pure thing in college football.
That's very well said. Okay, speaking of that, number 17 Boise is 5-1. They're a 3.5-point favorite at UNLV. This one on Friday night. Again, this is another probably very entertaining game.
You're gonna make me watch
two Mountain West teams here.
You gonna have to Clockwork Orange and make me watch it, peel my eyelids back, all that stuff. Yeah, I'll probably watch it, but whatever.
Running Rebs versus the Broncos. Who do you like?
Why don't I just pull for UNLV for the heck of it?
Why not?
But I do like watching Ashton Genty play. He's a good running back. He's pretty cool.
Michigan State is 4-3, 2-2, facing Michigan, who is 4-3, 2-2. The Wolverines are a 5-point favorite.
That's a game only a mother could love.
This one will throw back college football for a couple of, send it back a couple of years.
See, this is one of those games where I'm like, look, I appreciate the rivalry. I do.
Yeah.
But it's funny. That game is sort of the Army-Navy game of this year. Like, I appreciate the rivalry, but neither one of y'all's got a shot.
Yeah.
But I might watch some of it.
Could be interesting.
Probably won't.
Probably. Notre Dame is at number 24 Navy. 11 o'clock on ABC. Notre Dame's a 12.5-point favorite.
I think Notre Dame wins, but slightly, and they get chop blocked all into submission towards the end of that game.
Yeah. I don't know if Notre Dame's that much better than Navy, to be honest with you. I don't think.
Boy, you talk about a team that wishes they'd played Notre Dame later, Texas A&M.
Yeah, really. That's certainly true. Number 20, Illinois, is 6-1. They are at number 1, Oregon. The Ducks are a 21.5-point favorite.
It's not going to shock me if old Brett drains the clock pretty good here. You know, just sort of says we're going to go old school as old school can be, or Oregon's going to show up in the, those snow skiing sunglasses and a funky helmet that some colors hadn't even been invented yet, and all these.
Did you see those uniforms Illinois was wearing last week?
Yeah, those.
Was that not cool?
It was interesting.
They had a leather helmet.
Let me say this: it grew on me as the game went on. When I first saw it, I was like, "Good God, what is that?"
It was weird.
And then as I watched it, I was like, "This is the most fitting uniform combo that's ever been."
But I mean, it literally looked like it was painted like a leather helmet. That was just cool.
It would have looked so dumb had they lost.
Yeah, that's true.
Can you imagine walking off the field with that uniform? I mean, but because they won, again, it goes back to what I'm saying.
It was like straight out of 1905, man. I mean,
it was very Red Grange-ish.
Yeah, no doubt.
They were all galloping ghosts.
All right, let's quickly take another break. We'll come back, and we'll probably close out the show right after these messages.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
Get ready to rev up your fall with Adams Motorsports in Montgomery. This season, experience the thrill of the open road like never before. From sleek motorcycles to powerful ATVs to versatile side-by-sides, we've got everything you need to fuel your passion for adventure. Whether Polaris, Suzuki, or Kawasaki, Adams sells and services the best. Go to where the journey begins. Visit us today or online for more information. From East Alabama's first family of power sports, Adams Motorsports of Montgomery.
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SDC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen-printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full service repair and installation on all major brands. From drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, final segment of tonight. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us this evening. Looking at some college football games upcoming this weekend, there are quite a few interesting games that could have some big impact on the playoff. Speaking of that, number 3 now, Penn State has moved up. 6-0. They are on the road at Wisconsin. The Badgers are 5-2, 3-1. This one at 6:30 on NBC. The Nittany Lions are a 6.5-point favorite. Can they not screw it up?
That line, whenever you see 6.5, 2.5, something like that, they're begging you to take the favorite, it feels like. And so I think Wisconsin can keep it close. I don't think Wisconsin will win. But this is also a look-ahead game for Penn State. They got Ohio State next week.
Yeah, that's important little tidbit. Number 5, Texas. Can they rebound after a loss? They're an 18.5-point favorite on the road at now ranked number 25, the Vanderbilt Commodores, 5-2, 2-1. Who in the world?
I'm a Vandy fool, but I don't think they can do it.
I mean, twice in 1 year. I mean, obviously nobody's going to overlook Vandy now, but
that'd be bananas, man. That'd be cray.
If they keep it, if it's a fourth quarter game, I mean, it's a win to me for Vandy.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And again, I'm a Vandy fool, but I don't think they can do it.
It seems unlikely, but I don't know if I put anything past Diego at this point. Number 8, LSU. They are still undefeated in the league with that one loss. At Texas A&M, this is the game of the week. I mean, the game of the week in the SEC.
Big time.
Both undefeated. Texas A&M 6-1. You got. I mean, again, give Elko a lot of credit. He's inherited a roster that's underachieved and appears to have coached them up. He and his staff. They are only a 2.5-point favorite at home. So not a lot of believers maybe in A&M.
Yikes! I don't know, man. That one's a tough one. I'm kind of pulling for A&M. Let's be honest, A&M fans they deserve some goodness, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and so I'm pulling for A&M, I guess. But I mean, as a Bama fan, I should probably be pulling for LSU because Alabama needs LSU to look as good as they can. So if they get that win, it helps them. I mean, that's my take. But I'm still I don't care. I'm pulling for Texas A&M.
I think LSU goes in here and wins this game.
Okay.
And then I think they lose to Alabama in the next one.
I can live with that. I can live with that.
I think that sounds like LSU to me this year. We'll see if that happens. It may be the reverse. I don't know. We'll see. It could go either way. Number 21, Mizzou, is at Alabama. Now number 15. When's the last time Alabama was ranked this low?
It has to be back in 10. Yeah. I don't even know if it was back then. I don't know.
5-2, 2-2 in the league. Although they are 13.5
They did drop pretty good
favorite.
in 14 when they lost to Ole Miss in 14, but I don't know where exactly they dropped to. Okay. And then the very next week they came back and beat Georgia into oblivion at their place, and it sort of reestablished them. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Alabama covers, but I think Alabama wins. I think Alabama's better, and I think they certainly play better at home. So let's see. But yeah, I think Alabama wins, but I'm not super confident in anything about this team right this minute.
No, I mean, they haven't given you a lot of reason to be, I don't think. I mean, playing that close to South Carolina at home probably in a win speaks more than the losses.
Agreed.
So we'll see how that. And then Auburn, 2-5, yet to win an SEC game, is on the road at what I am believing to be now the worst team in the SEC, or this is a battle maybe for the worst team in the SEC.
Well, I
don't think Mississippi State. I know.
Don't overlook them.
Mississippi State's trying. Yeah. They're giving it all they got. They
did put up 31.
They've got a very diminished roster. I'm not even going to say they're the worst. I'm saying one of these teams is playing the worst in the SEC.
So weird.
Kentucky is 2.5-point favorite.
Boy, if Auburn doesn't win this, I think it's a problem. Auburn needs to win
if
this game.
If they find a way to lose this game, it is not to mention if Kentucky wins this game going away. it will. I think it will cement the fact, or it will solidify the idea that this team has quit.
Probably.
Because I don't. They haven't up to this point. They've been competitive in every game, including the Georgia game. They were competitive in that game. It just got away late in the fourth quarter. But I
think Auburn.
Kentucky is not good.
Yeah, but Auburn didn't either.
Vic Brandegroff is not a great.
Viv Grandebrock.
But my goodness. We'll see what happens. 6:45 on ESPN. All right, I got one for you. How about Jeff Goldblum? The Fly. Happy birthday, Jeff Goldblum, today.
That movie's disgusting.
The Fly.
The Simpsons parody of that movie is better.
It is disgusting. I mean, when he pukes on the donut.
Yeah.
And, The Big Chill. You ever seen that?
Yeah,
one?
I have.
It's good. I mean, it's
not bad.
No, it's one of those late 80s kind of
adult, it's adult contemporary.
Adult drama. Silverado.
Silverado's great.
Great. Very underrated Western.
And the one thing about Westerns is, man, they just don't. They age so well.
They do. But this one was so star-packed. Yeah. I mean, my goodness. Jurassic Park, I'm going to go with the original.
Far and away, yeah. Like, these other ones have gotten real clunky. But, yeah, the first Jurassic Park's great.
Independence Day.
I really...
You don't like that one, do you?
I mean, I watch it because I sort of like the whole premise of it and what a great premise it was. But they screwed it up. They had, welcome to Earth. And you knock an alien out with your fist. I mean... And that you upload a virus in a computer system that you have no idea how any of this works.
No, I didn't even know how you plug into it, but
and then you just fly into space.
Yeah.
Don't worry about G-forces and other things that they tell us all the time are kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
You just go. You just go into space. Jeff Goldblum's going into space with Will Smith. I mean, what could go wrong?
How about Elon Musk sending a rocket into space and then bringing it back?
That's pretty cool.
I mean, that dude is. What do you think his IQ is?
It's a bunch, but let's hope.
I mean, are we going 200? Are we going that high?
Isn't it kind of funny that, like, he's become sort of the voice of the conservative nation, yet all the liberals drive his cars?
I mean, it is bizarro world. But, yeah. I mean, the dude's giving away $1 million a day in Pennsylvania just so they'll sign up to vote.
I know. Pretty good.
That's pretty good. I'm moving to Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But anyway. All right. Well, anything left?
No,
anything you want to
let
it we're going to let it go back and not make our payments this week. All right. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us tonight. We'll be back on the air next Tuesday. Be sure to join us then and join me for the Auburn Blitz tomorrow, 12 to noon. I'll be with JJ, and we'll bounce around the SEC. He is Luke Robinson. I'm Andy Graham. So long for now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Alex City and west side of the lake. It's time to celebrate because the all-new Lake Martin Pizza is open with the area's best pizza, and it's just down Highway 63 South in our town. Lake Martin Pizza of Highway 63 has a huge outdoor seating area with enclosed heated comfort, a full bar with cold beer, wine, and full spirit selection with family ownership and fun for the whole family. Dine in or pick up. It's just a short drive to our town and is hands down the area's best pizza. Like us on Facebook to see upcoming live entertainment and watch sports on our 360 wraparound TVs. Rejoice! Lake Martin Pizza on Highway 63 is ready for you.
Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is coming soon to the corner of 280 and 49 North in Dadeville. This new 10,000 square foot facility is conveniently located to serve the residents of the Lake Martin area and its many communities. A branch of Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory in Opelika, Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation looks forward to serving your families and your communities, as we have since 1900 at Frederick Dean. 256-750-0381.
Planting season is here, and the Potting Shed Garden Center is happy to give you professional landscaping advice when it comes to planting your shrubs and trees. Auburn's best kept secret will have it all this fall. Mums, pansies, pumpkins, and much more. All in an array of colors and sizes, along with beautiful pots and containers, indoor plants, and a great selection of other gardening gifts. It's all at the Potting Shed Garden Shop, where natural elements reign supreme. Located on the corner of Moore's Mill and Society Hill Road in Auburn.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, this is Andrew McGreer at Dunning Roofing. At Dunning Roofing, we specialize in high-quality, premium roofs. We don't build roofs that just meet code requirements. We build quality roofs with premium materials that significantly exceed our competitors' warranties. We put money on your roof, not in our pockets. If you're looking for a top-quality roof, call Dunning Roofing today for your free quote at 256-307-7601 or visit us at DunningRoofingAL.com for more information.
Thunderbolt Lightfoot at Oscar's Cafe on Highway 49 South in Dadeville, Alabama is looking to see you today. Now let me tell you, they got great food. They've always had great food all these years. Now they still got that atmosphere. They still got that service. They still cater. Let me stop right there. 15 to 415 they can handle. So give them a call today at Oscar's Highway 49 South in Dadeville. 256-825-4827.
The new owners of Stillwater's Country Club want to welcome you to play the area's premier course at Stillwater's with our new rates. Now, play for only $35 per 18 during the week and only $40 for the weekend. Stillwater's Golf is ready to give you the area's best golf experience, and many upgrades are coming, including a lighted range and course expansion. Meet the new staff and enjoy $35 per 18 Monday through Friday and $40 on the weekends. All at Stillwater's Country Club in Dadeville.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SEC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
Announcing Camping World's Inflation Buster camping program. You can now get into a new RV starting at just $98 a month. We won't let the economy steal your camping season. Take advantage of this very limited time offer and lock in your low monthly payment today.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
Russell Medical, we're proud of our exceptional nurses, like Nurse Brandy Worthy. Brandy represents the selfless, compassionate clinical leader patients expect and coworkers admire. Brandy was recently honored with the Nightingale Award for Nursing Excellence for her high standards, sound judgment, and caring manner. Her passion for her profession inspires us all.
Being a nurse is not just what you do, it's who you are. I'm proud to be a part of the nursing team at Russell Medical. We are the link between all hospital services, providing you with exceptional, personalized care.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need with top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill, and our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care, open 7 days a week.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Landowners, farmers, and landscapers, it's time to fall back this fall at Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor on Highway 280 in Alex City. Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor has the year's best terms on almost all our Mahindra tractors. Now, get up to 84 months of 0% financing on Mahindra 1600 to 4500 series tractors. And package up with all your implement needs. Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor also has 0% financing or up to $1,000 rebates on most 24 Spartan zero-turn mowers. The rates can't fall anymore at Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state, and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
Ivy Creek Healthcare is excited to showcase their newest clinic, Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin, located conveniently near the main entrance to Stillwater's on Highway 49 South in Dadeville. Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin is an urgent care with walk-ins welcome. Whether you need lab work, x-rays, or immediate care, find comfort here at Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin. Ivy Creek, here when you need us most. 256-827-5379.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
As the heat of summer fades and cooler temperatures come calling, we look forward to that feeling of fall. It's the perfect time to be outdoors with family and friends, and a great time to be alive. Make sure your heart is ready for the season with an appointment at the UAB Heart and Vascular Clinic at Russell Medical. I'm Dr. Kevin Sutherland, and our entire clinic is dedicated to keeping your heart healthy. We're right here in your own community and backed by the knowledge and expertise of UAB Medicine. Make an appointment today by calling 256-234-2644 or visit uabmedicine.org/heartrussell.
Farmers and Merchants Bank of Dadeville is building a foundation of strength and trust in the entire Lake Martin community With our modern branch in Dadeville and caring, attentive staff, we've established Farmers and Merchants Bank as a reliable friend to your banking needs. Whether it's just a savings or checking account or any commercial, auto, or real estate loan, Farmers has local decision-making to build a relationship with you and your needs. Farmers and Merchants Community Bank. Strength, service, community.